West Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is Robert S. on the pulse of the city and the moment we've all been waiting for. That election day is here, and we have none other than Governor Tim Waltz himself here on the pulse of the city. And if that doesn't get you ignited to vote, I don't know what else will. Him calling into a station like ours, a real grassroots station here, serving marginalized communities in our city right here on the FM channel 102.5 FM. Tim Waltz, welcome to the Pulse of the City.
Hey, Robert, thanks for having me, and thanks to all your listeners out there. It is a big day, and there's a lot on the line, so I'm grateful for you giving me a little time.
You have made the news while you've been the governor there in your state, and one of the big things that I think you talked about was universal lunch for some of the students in that state. And we are just so elated about that. We just want to know how it went there in your state and how it might go once you're in office.
Yeah, it went great, and I know that Kamala loves this. Look, it's free breakfast and lunch. No paperwork, no anything. We're not going to separate kids, give them a different colored lunch ticket. We're going to get them to school, get their bellies full, and let them learn. We have universal pre-K, something that the vice president wants to do. And then we have paid family medical leave for your families out there thinking, gosh, dang it. If my kid's sick, I can actually take them to the hospital or take them to in to see a doctor without losing pay. And I don't have to worry about buying the lunch tickets. I don't have to do all that. And that's what Kamala's talking about, an opportunity economy focused on the middle class, child tax credit, help getting your first home, making sure we're tackling prices. And I appreciate you bringing up what we've done, both during her career and mine. We're middle-class folks, and that's what we focused on. And so for folks thinking now, polls were open till 8. If you're in line, you can vote. I can't tell you enough. I was in Detroit this morning, did my final rally there. Michigan's going to win this thing, and it's going to make a big difference for this country, because I guarantee you Donald Trump doesn't wake up in the morning figuring out how to get breakfast for kids in public schools.
While we're about 3 hours away from the end of this election, what advice would you give your supporters out there to make sure we get Tim Waltz and Vice President Harris across that finish line tonight? What advice would you give to your supporters out here?
Yeah, look, it matters. This is your power. And in Michigan, 1 or 2 votes per precinct. So if you're sitting there, you're getting off work, I know you're tired, you can still go in. Just bring that photo ID, even if you're not registered. Get there and get in. Cast that vote. Don't let them take this from us. Don't let the billionaires make the decisions. Don't let them continue to disenfranchise folks. And let's get something. I mean, having a middle-class girl from Oakland and a guy from the farms of Nebraska, I hear folks out there. And when I was up there with you guys in Grand Rapids, it felt like I was home, too. So to the listeners out there, Robert's right. You got about 3 hours. If you're in line, don't get out of line. You can win it. You can win it with your vote. So we got an opportunity here, opportunity to turn the page on Donald Trump, opportunity to have Kamala Harris, who speaks, looks, sounds, and has a vision that America wants to see. So get out there and vote.
Governor Tim Waltz, as you talked about making sure we vote so this disenfranchisement doesn't happen that we've seen before, and we hear a lot of rhetoric coming from the other side. Can you tell them just how important this election is and some of the factors that make this election so important?
Women know it, and I ask the men who are listening on this one, their lives are at risk in this, putting them at risk. You have a pregnancy goes bad and you need health care. We've got 20 states where that could be the end of your life. That is absolutely unacceptable. We have Donald Trump talking about adding tariffs, adding costs to everything that we own. We have him talking about an enemies list rather than getting work done. We're starting to get manufacturing jobs back in Michigan. He's talking about pulling those jobs back. And so I think for all the folks out there, this guy, just the rage that he brings, kind of the darkness, it doesn't need to be this way. We can get things done. We've done it in Minnesota. And look, we did those free breakfasts. We did that paid family medical leave. We invested in our schools. We're a top 5 business state. We're number 1 for healthcare in the country. You can do these things, and life can be better for everybody. It doesn't need to be a few people at the top. So I can't stress enough, folks. Go out there and make a difference. Let's turn the page. Let's try this. We know what we're going to get with Donald Trump. It's going to be chaos, nonsense. He's telling us it's going to be painful. We have billionaires telling us that we have to sacrifice. That is nonsense. Get out there and vote, folks. Middle class needs to speak.
Governor Tim Waltz, we want to thank you for this interview. We not only wish you luck, everybody here is wishing our whole country a blessing tonight so we can stay going in the right direction with Vice President Harris moving to the presidential seat with your vote tonight.
That's right.
And Governor Tim Waltz moving into the vice president's role. We'll give you the last minute or 30 seconds to a minute just to tell everybody to come out and vote. Once again, thank you, Governor Tim Waltz.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. It's iwillvote.com/MI if you want to find where you need to. It's not hard. Go do it. If you've never voted, make this your first one. Look, we can choose lightness, hopefulness, folks being part of this, or we can go with Donald Trump's darkness and division. And I know that's not where people want to go. So, folks, Grand Rapids, folks that are in listening tonight, get out there and vote. Make a difference. And you're thinking, man, I don't know if it'll matter. This thing will matter. So go vote. Let's win this thing. Thanks, Robert.
Thank you, Governor Tim Waltz. West Michigan, you've heard it from the vice presidential candidate, Tim Waltz. Time for you to go out and vote and get it done. Thank you for listening to the show they call The Pulse of the City with Commissioner Robert S. Womack on 102.5 FM. Grand Rapids, West Michigan. Let's go.